What's going on, my friends? Welcome. It's been a second since I've gone live on YouTube. They just changed the mobile YouTube thing, so you can go live mobile. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here and to just share, to drop in with you guys. Maybe let's take a few breaths together. Let's get outside if we have the space and the nice weather and just feel up for it. Getting our breaths and our bodies just settling in. It's a beautiful day out here in New Jersey. Thanks for coming on. I'm a little tired because I didn't fully sleep on Sunday night. It's Tuesday here in Lambertville, New Jersey, and I just wanted to update and share with people, kind of where I've been coming from and also where I am now, and a little bit of what I want to invite in the future in terms of collaboration, community, coaching, and all kinds of movement creation and all of that. So yeah, I'm currently in a really good kind of transition place of I just got hired at a Ninja Warrior gym, coaching youth and also supervising open gym, kind of like what I was doing in 2019 to 2020. And then the whole pandemic hit and all this stuff happened, and the Warrior Gym's parkour gym, Ninja Warrior gym that I was at, and I was leading their obstacle course racing program as a head coach for adults. That all shut down in the middle of 2020, and so I went right into starting my business, and it's been kind of slowly taking off, but I've still been just learning and trying and failing and doing new things and just seeing where the currents of this flow take me. And so I've come a long way since then in terms of what I'm doing differently in my own lifestyle and in how I'm working with people and what I want to share, my vision. So a lot of people definitely have been following me because I was raw vegan and fruitarian for a while, and I was also just doing a lot of strength work, and I just had a lot of muscle going into that, and kind of coming out of that at the end of, in the middle of 2020, the beginning of 2021, I started to slowly kind of come out of the vegan phase and everything, and not it's a phase, but just the way that I was perceiving things is it had to be this way, and it had to be precise things that I was eating, and a focus on mostly raw and fruit and fasting and all of those things. I feel like I was being a little bit too hard on myself, and I didn't really have any guidance in any particular way that was like one-on-one and very resonant with me. It didn't feel like I was being supported in that lifestyle. And I mean, even now, I feel like I'm still figuring things out on my own, but I feel like I've found a much better balance in just taking away those limitations for a moment and those boundaries of that, and just focusing on what food does my body want, even if it's not part of what my mind is saying, eat this and this. So I've just lately, this year, I've been mostly vegetarian. I've had a little bit of meat, a little bit of organ meats, a little bit of things like bone broth, but mostly like eggs and raw dairy and cultured fermented foods and dairy, um, vegetables raw and cooked, grains cooked, and still lots of fruits, and I think there's just times when we have to take away these restrictions on ourselves, and times when we have to put it on ourselves so that we're more focused and disciplined on a certain lifestyle or path. Because in the beginning of my raw vegan fruitarian kind of lifestyle, and those few years that I was doing it, it was like it really had a lot of benefits. I think it was really great for me, and I took out a lot of processed foods that were, before that I was focused on like just vegan in general, and I wasn't really always getting in that whole food nutrition. I wasn't always getting in those enzymes and those biophotons and just the living electric foods, which are really great. So yeah, it's been really interesting seeing where all of this has been going, and also opening my mind beyond judgments or perceptions that can be sometimes dogmatic, or sometimes assuming and asserting a certain view that has to be correct over every other view, whether that's like everyone should be raw vegan, everyone should be planting fruit trees everywhere and eating fruit trees, or eating fruit and fasting as well, like everyone should be fasting. Like, these are certain claims that I feel can be a little bit unrealistic and idealistic, but it's also, it kind of shows like there's certain things we definitely want to progress in. We definitely want to have more food access everywhere. We definitely want to have more people in tune with their bodies and healthy. And so these sentiments that are underlying these claims and assertions and assumptions can actually be very good-hearted and well-intentioned. And so that's what I've been focusing more on, is that energy that's underlying, that is that underlying intention, and clarifying that and going forward with that, and not necessarily attached to what it looks like on the outside and externally. So yeah, I've been very happy to be kind of free in what I'm eating, and just like, finding and exploring. But I do feel like there's great times for us to focus in on a certain diet, with certain boundaries and parameters. And then there's times when we are here to explore. So that's up to you to decide where you are in your journey, whether you need more kind of focus in and parameters, or maybe you need a little bit more freedom. Maybe you've been really hard on yourself. So, and I think, sometimes we can be too loose on ourselves, too relaxed, and to kind of go with the flow in a way where we lose any sense of like, vitality. Because if we don't have the boundaries and structures and the discipline in place to the right degree in our lives, then we start to just lose any kind of like power and focus and direction that helps you to grow and evolve. So those are things to contemplate, and I'll kind of wrap that up. That's kind of diet right there. And then in terms of what I've been doing with movement and well-being and lifestyle, and also my offerings right now. So I think I mentioned I've been working at this new Ninja Warrior gym, coaching the youth and supervising, kind of like warrior gyms. So I'm doing that now, just gonna be 2, 3, maybe 4 days a week. My intention is 2 to 3, but we'll see. And I'm just getting clear on, with my business, with Gene Moves and that brand, sharing the right community, the coaching, and also this creativity and movement, and well-being. So my online services. If any of this resonates with you, please feel free to email me, grantbigmoves@gmail.com. I'll put that in the description as well after I edit the live video. But it's essentially going to be, my online accountability coaching. I might do a group training, a group accountability thing for 8 weeks. If that's interesting to you, for $88 for 8 weeks, let me know. Email me today, because I want to start that soon if there's people who are interested. If you want to do one-on-one accountability training, I usually do a 3-month container, and we work through these 6 different areas of wellness and support in your lifestyle, for going into movement, for going into your nourishment, your nutrition, going into how you rest, going into how you connect to your purpose, to your community, and to your work in the world. What is it that fulfills you to be here and to do and to create? So there's kind of those areas and these 6 different pathways that we have in the program. If you want to learn more about that one-on-one container, definitely send me an email. It's for those who are really much more committed to a complete lifestyle shift. So if that's you and you have that enthusiasm right now to be supported in that way, email me. And then I also have these in-person offerings that I'm contemplating this month, of starting these workshops once a month, where it's like strongman workshop, baseball workshop, movement workshop, and then we're just basically spending a few hours learning and experiencing and being in our bodies, and being able to create with our bodies, and not just do the same repetitive movement. It's not about learning necessarily things that you have to do this exact thing every day, but it's just giving you a foundation of what you can create with and how you can create through movement. So if that's interesting to you and you're in the New Jersey area, definitely let me know. And then we have these kind of let me shoot my notes. Yeah, so we have I'm deciding not to do weekly coaching, but actually more immersive coaching, where it's we meet for basically 90 to 180 minutes, and we can train in an immersive way where I lead you through an experience in movement, which involves exploring the environment. It involves using and exploring tools, and then expanding your body weight capabilities through obstacles and just simply on the ground movement, and being mobile, being strong, being free, and playful in your body. So I really like just spending a day with someone, to be able to go deeply into their own unique movement patterns. And when it's every week, that's great, but I also feel every time I learned from an obstacle course race, where I was out on the course for 4 hours, 5 hours, doing this exploration through my own body, the environment, all the terrain of the mountains and trails and rivers and lakes that I would swim through and run up and down these mountains, and all the obstacles that they provide. I did a bunch of 30-mile trail races and 15-mile obstacle course races, where you just you're just out there, and you gotta just push through. You gotta find that energy and purpose within you to keep going through this challenge, this adventure. And then at the end of the adventure, you have all these lessons and your strengths and your weaknesses. So in those crucible experiences, we really learn so much about ourselves. And if we're only just doing like, 30-minute, 60-minute workout here and there, we're not always going to our edges and finding what is our, growth. Where do we grow? How will we grow? So I'm kind of interested in seeing who wants to go into those immersive experiences and to spend that time, because that takes a certain level of commitment to yourself and to that container. So if you're interested, definitely email me on that. And yeah, if there's other things that you guys want to see or hear on this page, definitely let me know. I want to put up some more movement videos. I have a lot of stuff that I haven't been putting up. A lot of really fun movement meetups that we did last year, and we're starting them up again. I didn't have access to a car for the beginning of this year. I had to sell my car because of these technical issues and everything. And now I'm using my dad's second car, so it's not really mine, but it's like much more availability at the moment. So I can drive to different places in New Jersey, set up these movement meetups. And I also want to empower people who are in these locations to follow the structure of the movement meetups, to find who is around them and who wants to consistently meet up at which times, and what kind of gear and what kind of environments and parks and trails, and vistas that you can explore as a community. So if that's interesting to you, to start movement meetups in your area, whether it's in New Jersey or anywhere else, let me know, because I've been doing this since August of last year, and it's pretty simple. Like, if you really just find who is in what area and what their location and time availability is, and then you also just bring different toys and tools to move with, whether it's kettlebells, whether it's mace bells, you find a calisthenics park or a playground to climb on, and then you just kind of get together and move, however that looks, whether you do a structured thing or you just do your own thing. So again, my email is grantbigmoves@gmail.com. Send an email if any of those things are interesting to you. And yeah, I think for today that's about it for my update. Appreciate you guys tuning in, whether it's now or later. And I'm gonna have a nice day in the sun over here and have some tea. Looks like my tea has been melting for the honey. So yeah, I'm gonna throw up some movement videos soon, but I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will share a little bit more when I have a little bit more time. So have a great day. Love, vision, and strength. Peace out.